What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the pod. And in today's episode of the pod, we have Vector Chi. Vector Chi, aka Sly.
It depends. I always say it depends on how bad you want something. If you really want to do this thing, I think it's starting basically slowly, as slowly as you can.
He's a product designer at Cowrywise. And on this episode, we discuss around the topic of designing consistently and transitioning that to writing code as well. That intersection where we always want to be and we don't want to be at the same time. We also touched on topics around being able to design for users and not for designers, mentally being able to move between being productive at work and at your personal, activity outside work. With that being said, oh wait, one last thing. This podcast is probably managed and produced by Inkim. Yeah, with that being said, let's get into it.
Next week, are you the kind of person that usually think of next week from like Saturday? Something?
Yes. I think about the whole day, the whole week, every
Yeah. So
yes,
from like weekends, so instead of using the weekends to like chill and all.
how do you prepare for your week?
Sometimes it's a mental scan, like you just sit down, just scan and try to map out all your whole tasks. What are the pending for the next week I have this to do? When do I need to present some of the things exactly? So that would affect, like call it, the urgency. So some I have to like address like Sunday night, if it's a Monday thing. Some I need to address like Monday, it's a Tuesday presentation, and yeah, to affect them. And some I need to have to like make it till Friday. So yeah, that's how I just give like a mental model and try to like prioritize.
Like, how often does that happen where you already plan and then during the week something else up and you now have to like
Everything just
exactly anything to just
oh something always sucks. It's just normal. I think it's the mental preparation. I know definitely that okay, some things are going to likely add to these things, like surprises come up during the week. I know it's going to add up, but it just helps me know okay, by the end of this week, I need to complete all of these things I have in mind, and I complete any other addition is a bonus at that point. So yeah,
I'm more I dey plan my week, but it often gets to the point where I'm like exhausted and something changes. And I hate it. I hate it when there's an uncertainty. Maybe I'm supposed to wait for somebody to do something before I get something else done. And I'm like, that person is not a blocker. I was like, I don't know if the person will come through, the person will not come through. I know they like that thing at all.
when your work is like dependent on someone else,
Mm.
it ultimately deprioritizes that particular task because I know I'm not the only variable in this particular scenario. It is
Seriously?
dependent on the so it automatically drops and then other people might the one I know I am solely concerned for climb. So at I mean midweek I can be telling the person after this and after this and after this and after this. But making the person shoes, of course, that one to climb. So it's dynamic. You just need to be fluid, especially when it's design and it's a startup like a small startup.
Everything.
Things are not
I swear, things are
straightforward like this.
at all. There's nothing in this
Not
startup.
straightforward.
There's nothing straightforward in this startup. Like one moment you may have, yeah, okay, we have plan, guys. We're going to do this quarter. Two days, 2 weeks into the quarter, they're already telling you to sharp do this thing because something is about to happen.
And one direction that you guys had, everything will just turn the
Don't
other way
change.
around. Like
I swear, everything don't change. I often have these thoughts every day when I like maybe in the morning I will just be, I'll just give up. Guy, I dey give up like 4 times every morning. Then I'll go and get energy back for night. Then I can't give up again the next morning. Like a cycle. I will just wake up, like, I just see that, no, I get this work to do. I think this guy, I will just be like, this kind of life is really for this thing like this. Oh, God.
I
Is it
think
good?
many people don't know really that it's after your blood, like is just you think you're happy, but
I
for
swear,
people looking to get, they're like, I want to get tech job. You know it's your blood and you're connected like that.
guys, your
Crazy
blood,
one.
oh. a lot of mental strength. Like it's not even physical. You know they use muscle write code. You know they use muscle design.
Um,
Mental strength.
seriously.
I just hope it gets. Do you think like the whole tech space is going to get better where there's more room to relax, more room to like, change roles, just like more opportunities for people? Because I feel right now that all those things are tight, or am I the only one feeling that way?
So depends on what considers like site work environment. I think tech Nigeria is growing and there will be many more startups and less unicorns. Maybe more unicorns as well. Unicorns are where things start to
Take shape.
quietly, yeah, slow down. You start to see development into roles like okay, UI design, proper UI design, UX design, UX researching. Like there are very, very few templates that differentiate. You're a product designer, you're doing all of these things currently because it's still shaping. There is I think I was also speaking to set up with one guy at Meta, and he was talking to me about so the question I asked him was how do you even know when to call yourself like a senior product designer? What are the criteria? So he was mentioning that I mean your company should have like this ladder, like this systematic progression. Okay, from designer one, designer two, senior, then lead, like all the structure. But Nigeria doesn't have that structure yet. Right? So it means it's still growing. Like we don't have many startups that have like achieved that level. So as long as that's still going to happen, there's still always going to be people wearing many hats and it's going to be very stressful. Everybody wants to grow speedily because that's the essence of startup. Like you want to grow very, very fast. So you need people that can wear many hats and it's going to always be stressful. But I'm guessing Flutterwave will be quite easy now because they've gotten their target
Yeah.
markets.
They have product market fit. So
Yeah, they have gotten past their. I
the
don't think they are
in the
niche.
beginning it's not it's they're still considered a startup. They've not stayed 7 years, have they?
Yeah, they haven't.
They have not now. So they are still a startup. Only that they are like, they've gotten the necessary things to graduate.
Yeah,
So
they are also. Are they profitable yet? They should be.
and I doubt with this there are 2 billion something loss that they had.
That's true. What I don't know when last they raised or their last evaluation, but maybe I don't know if they are profitable.
But it's funny, how person go dey run startup for like 4 5 years, you no make profit, you just dey do am. Be like person wey dey sell shoe for market, you no dey make profit. And you're paying people
No, they are making profit though. They are making. Oh, okay. Let's say look, they are not making profit actually. It depends on what you call profit. They are making profits, but
for what?
it's on the costs of their stuff. I don't know if you get.
It's okay.
So
I
they are
know what it
making
is.
profits.
It's not
Yeah,
profit, it's revenue. It's revenue.
yeah, yeah. They are generating revenue, but it's not enough to balance their costs of operation. So when the revenue surpasses the cost of operation and everything,
You
I
can't
think that's what
collect
we call it profit.
you now come and collect investor money wey you no reach for that bit.
Yeah,
That's another dynamic of this life. We just well, all of us, I'm very sure. You get any startup idea?
essentially. I have to believe that design might not give me the money I want to earn.
Exact. I have that same thought. But go on. We would land on that bridge.
Like design cannot be the kind of money or type of life, sustain type of life I might want to do because it
Yeah.
would put aside AI. I don't think I'm also threatened by AI and all this. All these ones are just they would help sustainably. I think you need to be an entrepreneur, whether you are doing startup or whether you are doing your own
Yeah.
business. So this is the only thing that can bring in the money without if you don't want to be working by like 60 or 70.
Yeah.
And then there are factors like eye generation, especially for a designer. At some particular time, your eye would start to deteriorate. Although you might try take care, but as long as you're having so much screen time, your eye is like your greatest asset as like as a
If
designer.
you start this spoil
So,
small small.
exactly. So at some that point, if that is the only thing you're relying on, then you just need to find.
Yeah, I swear, like I'm on that bridge as well. This is one of my many dilemmas, right? And it's the reason why I want to learn how to code. I believe design has a cap to it, right? Like is a cap to how much you can do with design. And every day that I design products, every day I work on startups, where I work on this current company called where I'm doing stuff is I see that cap every day. Recently, we launched a product, Abby, so that one went live, was nice. I'm doing product management and I design for that work, for that particular project. So I'm leading the whole thing except development. And sometimes devs will have issues and our boss is not around or she's not like on Slack. And I'm like, what do we do? I can easily say, let's wait or let's do something else. But aside that, I can't do much. Now, the dev need help to write code or they need help to shape feature, or the guy is working on one feature and he can't work on two features at the same time now because he also has stuff.
Mm.
And he's working on one. I'm like, if I could code, I could just literally work on this other one and then we'll ship mad features every week. But I would just be there. What can I do? Nothing. I could just there. I could just it really took my heart, guy. Like I used to feel pain. Pain. I feel design has a cap, I
Mm.
swear. There's so much you can do with design, but it just has these limitations that I'm like, do you think
Mm.
that would change? Like, would that change at all? Or would it just get worse? Like with the cap just becoming more and more obvious?
It depends on what cap means. You mean like design expanding tomorrow, or you think product design itself?
Yeah, like
Okay.
the limitation to what as a designer, what you can achieve, like the
Mm.
impact you can make as a designer. Can you actually create and solve problems, or are you just doing stuff that other people are using to solve problems?
Yeah, I do. I understand what you mean. So I have believed that the design phase, but there are also spaces for exploration. Like there is the AI tools coming in now. If you mean like maybe you mean the term product itself, like designing for a product, it feels too capped as I would call it. Like it's just one direction. Like this is
Yeah.
just a thing, design, interaction, and then that's just and in itself it's large. But if you're talking of learning code, yes, I mean you have the superpower basically because it expands some parts of design. I've always been telling you, coding has made me like a better designer, basically.
I agree.
You are exposed to so many hidden things you haven't like paid attention to. Especially when sophisticated dev came to Rotary to tell us that we should design in containers. Like that's those
Yeah,
particular
maybe
concepts, like
blocks,
designing in containers, like in
blocks.
blocks of those things. So I mean many people would have understood then that okay, yeah, I mean it's just blocks. Probably ensure your things are like framed or all those type of things. But it's essentially more than that. It influences how you write a particular code or how you code a particular website. It's more than just putting it in a frame because when you see like a layout, developers have to like go through to think, okay, this is what this is going to happen, this is how this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, when I design with this current experience I have, I consider this as a designing that okay, this developer is going to do this when they happen. And I can already anticipate like their problems even before they like when I hand it over to them. Because I usually tell them I did code though, but maybe my job for yeah, my job is to design. But I anticipate, I know the fonts, I can see the kernels that they make mistakes with. I will tell them the exact values. So what this does is they like to come and meet me because other designers don't even understand what they're talking of or understand their problems at all. So they come and meet me and say, okay, how does this look? Because I can see from both worlds.
Yeah.
So it exposes your eye really. And yeah, in that sense, you might say, okay, design is capped at that. But design in itself is very wide. Like there are many opportunities. There's IDK doing conversational design that I think is going to expand and grow. There is AI tools coming in itself. But aspect of designing for products might be capped and it would make you have superpowers and like learn how to.
How long have you been coding?
Yeah, so I started like I think when I was serving. I think I was designing, and I had the same thoughts too now. Every lead designer I saw had coding experience, and I'm like, okay, I want to be this type of. So what's stopping me from like doing this? Why not just take it up and start? February, March, and like got one course I think it was this 11-hour stuff, and I think I like when videos are very, very long, because I have the feeling that it's going to break this thing down. Because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I've been hearing that coding is quite tedious. I want someone that would, what, tear this thing down into like
Like
tiny,
pieces, like
yeah,
small, small.
explain why this thing is like this. Why is this thing exactly like this? So yeah, I picked the 11-hour course, 1 hour, and stopped for like a week. Then went back again. So it was. I think I would have gone further if I was more consistent, because coding can be a long journey. So yeah, it's from then till just
You,
about a year.
man, that's nice, guy. I want to be like you when I grow up. I swear. I've picked up Flutter, I've dropped it, I've picked it up, I've dropped it. Like now I'm getting to the fifth time that I'm picking it up again. And for some reasons, I don't know why I keep dropping it. Like I finished like 6 parts of a course. I understand what all the, I know the containers, I understand how the functions work, the booleans, I know all that stuff. I can set up my MVP, my EMV, I can set up and then but when it gets to building something, maybe say they are like, okay, let's build something, right? So let's start from scratch. You build this block, that you use this block. Or I would just for some reason that I might village people, I don't know. I will just drop it. Like, do you think your
Mm.
job? I was thinking maybe my job or the fact that I'm looking for something else. Is what's making me stop. Do you think your job comes in the way?
Presently, it depends on what you want. I usually challenge like people basically that, do you really want to learn something? I mean, my job will always come in the way. Cowrywise is a tedious place to work. We are just four designers, a
I'm
ton of
serious.
design to work on. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yes. And I'm saying I will call it three, because our design lead just comes there for moral support. He just charges us and say, okay, what you guys doing? Yeah, and charges that just say, okay, all right, bye. So it's ton of work, but I always try to partition time. Like I set calendars and I be time reminders and say, okay, from 12 to 2, learn this thing, just watch a video. So I pick that and I'm like strict with it. First, it's always very sloppy. You miss timelines, you miss
Yeah,
it's just normal. But the goal is stay true to it. When you miss the next one, say, okay, the next one I'm going to do. So I pick up the next one. I watch very lazily. Sometimes I don't even understand what they are saying,
I swear.
and
Half the time I
it's
don't understand what they are
crazy.
saying. I'm just copying the
So I
code.
don't understand, or I understand, but when I start to write, it's then rubbish. So yeah, that aspect is there. So I learned to partition time, and then weekends I close every Figma page. I think that's what I usually do. I calm down, I open Figma, close every page, shut down Figma, and then now take up like videos, like cover up, especially when I've missed like sometimes. And
Yeah.
there are other times where things are like pressured. I know I told you then that I pause everything coding. I pause everything coding, wrap up the release, especially when there's very high demand. After that, I know there's going to be a very free period. Maybe because I understand how my own circle of stuff is like a wave. There'll be a very peak period. After that peak period, I know there'll be a period of break. So that break period is what I now devote to coding, and then just take up, move. And right, the way coding is, I've realized when you are watching the video, just know it's rubbish. I'll call it rubbish because you are just watching movie.
Yeah, I just watching and then
The,
copying what's on the screen, I swear.
like basically, if you do not write, if you do not pause the video and say, okay, let me even rewrite what I've just seen without
I,
watching the video,
you won't learn anything. You
that
just
that's the only thing.
you won't learn
Yeah.
shishi. You just look. They will call all the foreign words, do all the jabajantics. It
The-
work it work on
Yeah.
their
And you
screen.
be nodding. You
You
understand though.
like
Like you know, you know and understand, like, okay, yes. You now say, okay, pause video, swipe, go to VS Code,
nah,
write the same thing.
well,
That
how
is
to start.
where you test what you have actually seen, and like rewrite. So you get this mental memory of how it works. So yeah, that's how I shift. And an advantage is there are devs that are pushing me. basically. I think okay, first I identified that there was a need for this. There are only four. So my design lead also codes to at
Nice.
Cowrywise. So they are just also four developers, four front-end developers. They usually call it three and a half because my design lead is in design, and then if they give him project to code, it's like whoa, familiar. So we are like they are like three and a half. So I found a need, and they are like seven backend, that be 10 backend developers. So I decided
Nice.
that okay, I think I can fit in, and I told them, and they said, oh, sure, sure, sure. Now, guys, do this thing. And they are gingering. So anytime I come in and I cook beans, and I show them that, okay, they will say, no, this is where this mistake, this is where this mistake is. And they are pushing. And the CTO also is like, okay, has like giving me timeline and say, okay, you should be done with this by this period. So they know also, they are trusting you that you know how to prioritize stuff. We employed you to design. So when the need arises, but we also encourage growth that you grow. And so they've been really, really helpful basically, and gingering that even when I want to slow up and say, okay, I'm tired, JS wants to break my head, they're like, okay, practice this. If you have any issues, meet these people. And they always ginger. Even Saturday, they've sat down like this for hours trying to debug the beans I've written and all.
So is it like just HTML, CSS, or are you using like a framework at this point?
I've finished HTML, CSS, SAS. I realized SAS is an important framework actually for Cowrywise. I learned SAS, JavaScript. I should finish JavaScript. You can't finish JavaScript basically. You can't finish HTML, CSS, of course, but I think I've gotten very, very, very comfortable with CSS. JavaScript is the large one, so but I should finish JavaScript soon. Frameworks are just based on JavaScript. So if you learn JavaScript properly, frameworks like React and Vue are like easy to learn. They are just based. So like CSS, once you learn pure CSS, SAS is just how to use CSS. Like it's just basically. So that's just like
It's like adding auto layouts to CSS.
yeah, like just having small superpowers. You can. It's more organized CSS, especially when you're working in like. So you need to learn how to like organize it. So if you plain CSS is very rowdy, you don't know how to control styles. You cannot add styles like you would do with design systems. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So design systems, I now understand the applications of design systems development and how important it is. Design system is very crucial. In fact, I can't start any project without it because
Mhm.
this is the same thing you translate to code. Like the exact padding for the button is what you translate to SAS, and that's what they also reuse
All the
the
time.
web stuff. Yeah. So in fact, the sizing, the pixels, RAM, how they translate, it has really, really, really helped like solidify what design means and what it means generally to the whole product.
Yeah, do you have like a trouble mentally shifting from design? Like from design and code. Like I feel for me that they are two separate persons, you know, as someone who is like
Mm,
product led and all and trying to like design something, there's a persona that I'm with, right? So I'm thinking about okay, this user, then this feature comes to mind, and I'm imagining the feature, I'm imagining the design. Then when it comes to code, does that like is that like a mental shift for you? Do you struggle with like mentally shifting from this persona to this persona?
Uh, no, actually. One mobile developer too told me then that, okay, you want to learn code. Coding would make you conservative as a designer.
Will make you conservative in the sense that you would not overshoot the skies
Yes,
for
exactly. For like UX thoughts, like you start to limit yourself as a designer and say, okay, this might be laborious to do. How would you guys do this thing? At the beginning, I won't lie, I had started to have that symptom of like saying, you know what, this thing should just be direct. But at the same time, it made me design more simple flows. Yeah, I mean, designers, when we start, we want to say, what is the best UX? Let us, when this thing flies in here, when this thing comes in here,
I
this
swear to
thing
God.
comes from the bottom. But it has made me focus basically on the end goal of the user. Basically, okay, bam, what do these guys want to do? This is what they need to do. This is what they need to see. So it hasn't limited basically in any sense. In fact, when I want to even because I basically just design a Cowrywise, so I show them that, whoa, I'm going to kill you guys basically this thing, and I will do everything I have in mind to do. But it has also made me focus more on the goal and think more about the user. So switching to any of those ones, as you mentioned, I haven't had any issue, but you need to also wear those hats. I mean, you need to mentally wear the hats, as you mentioned. When I want to design, I put aside everything code. Design is more thoughtful, and you need to critically think about how you want the user to see something, their experience, basically. While coding is more infrastructural, I think I'll call it that. There is a building plan. Oh, this is the thing. Lay the bricks, ensure the bricks are laid in this order. So it's more functional. Coding is more functional. Like, you know what, there is a set problem. Let's translate this set problem that has a solution to this. And you don't have to think too much about how would this work, where would the user fly to from here. It's more of, let us ensure this is a complete representation of what we have. And then functional way to do it, JavaScript. Okay, I would say that design is planning, like drawing the site, where would the door be and all. While coding is like, okay, nailing the door in the exact position, setting the hinges, the hard work itself. How would this appear? Nailing the roofs and all. Why design is like the proper, okay, how would this door, where would this door be? How many doors will be there? So I haven't had any issues up to now, really switching. I just know I should separate. I'm at work, I don't code, I just design basically. But once I'm at home or on weekend.
Oh, guy, I envy you guys, and I'm serious. So I'm honestly really jealous of people that can code. I just look at them. I'm like, I want to be like you. You don't know how bad I want to be like you. I swear, I honestly do
But
jealous.
I think you can.
Tell
I
me
still think you can really. I still
how.
think you can.
How I beg? Do I have to? Now let me explain. Tell me what you would do in my shoes. No, not in my shoes. Tell me what you would do. You were in this position if you had all this. So I have this stuff at Uncle Oko, the new product that we just launched. As I said, I'm basically
Mm-hmm.
doing product manager, marketer. Literally, the only thing I'm not doing on that project is writing code. I'm doing every other marketing, product, everything. Now there is another part of my life, which is, well, I started another side so that it requires me editing videos constantly. And then there is this project, we started a project together and they want to build like a fintech something. It's really cumbersome on its own itself. It's like, I know it's going to be carry a lot of work and I want to write code. Like I've given myself to the end of this year to build one app. I have almost 13 different app ideas I've documented, but I want to build just one. I told myself, I'm not going to see I'll build one. Now, these are different things, right? What would you do? And like, how would you prioritize that?
So you can take two approaches to this thing. You can use a 1 month, I don't know what to call it. I'll call it probably a dedicated period of time. So you just said, okay, 3 months or 2 months, I want to invest this particular period of time into this thing, into coding for these 2 months. It might require that some things drop in like priority or in a tight schedule, and it would be draining. I think that's the preparation. And it depends. I always say it depends on how bad you want something. If you really, really, really want to do this thing, I think it's starting basically slowly as you can. But coding can become, I'm sure you know it, but like coding can become very infectious that you always want to continue once you have picked up pace. So I think those are the two things. Either you dedicate like a particular period and say, okay, 2, 3 months to learn this particular thing, then focus on another thing, then another 1 month, focus on another thing. Or you have to create a schedule. As hard as it may be, as large as it may be, you need to separate your life. Basically, I'll call it like separate your life. Everything cannot call for your attention at the same time. There should be a time that, okay, 5 o'clock work stuff ends. Any other thing after that is a benefit. I'm just giving them because I close them. Five, I close everything Figma. It translates to the next morning. I pick up this, and I'm also learning, like trying to learn an instrument too. So all of these things like add up, and I can't say, okay, because of also trying to design for a particular idea, like I need to partition and say, okay, I usually tell, like I'm working with Oyin also. I tell her that She tells me, "Oh yeah, come to the file, let's design." I said, "No, this is my own period for coding. I will join you by like 4 or something." Once you can be strict, it can be hard because sometimes when I'm coding, I now start thinking of the projects like at work
Exactly. You start looking at, oh, I could
that
move this here and
the
then it will make
design
sense.
scene exactly like this design solution. And even as I'm coding, I get Slack messages checking this thing, but I'm like, I should be done with this thing first. Once I'm done, it will not die. Nothing will crumble. Nothing, sky is not going to fall down. As long as I know, okay, the time I have set for this thing is appropriate for me to finish this thing effectively. Then, of course, could it take 2 hours or 1 hour, 30 minutes? This work, after that, immediately coding leaves the way. Figma comes in. I design what I need to design. It might take more time design. When I'm done, you close laptop. There are movie times. I also dedicate for like movie time. You know what? Pause everything design, turn off notifications, lock everything, and I just watch movie. I might not even finish the movie. It might be 20 minutes in. I remember I design stuff that I need to do also. So some of these things you need to like separate them, especially when there's a lot of work. Like I realized when first came in, I was working. You know, when you're enthusiastic now, when it comes to new things,
You go, they go.
weekend, Sunday, everything, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like this. When I now realize that, like you know that, okay, till 5, everybody has gone home, I'll still be okay, I must finish this thing. Nobody will tell you.
I say, nobody will tell you, like,
Nobody will tell
you
you.
reach that point and you just, you calm.
Realize that, okay, I need to partition this thing. I need to know set time, okay, for this particular period. And they won't call for your neck. Like anything they ask for me during weekend, I say, okay, ask like this thing is messed up. Except it's like emergency. I've had to do it. When it's your like, okay,
Mhm,
Sylvester Bay Airport, still like this.
mhm.
Like, okay, we're fine. I do it like in 5 or 10 minutes, do it, and I close my Slack back. This is the way for you mentally to be organized, really, because things will get very muddled up. Like if you're not careful, especially when it's a very intense work environment, you need to share it up. For example, we like work and releases, many projects or many features. I think I worked on like 3 features. All of them could be very demanding. So I know, okay, Tuesday I'm having this meeting. I should have the design done by this particular period, and I should have this done by this time. There'll be a review. I share my work, and within that, I always ensure I have time to even maybe catch a movie or make a call because it's important for you to like design properly and even to code. So although I couldn't get me, it will not always be perfect. Things will be shaky. Your timeline might not straight. You might eat less than 30 minutes, or you might spend more than the 2 hours that you want. But the goal is you are doing something basically, even if it's an hour, even if it's 30 minutes, you learn one particular concept and you go, you come back again, relearn that concept, learn because that's the way coding is. If you say you have learned that and you forget, it's a lie. So you need to like relearn it, learn new
Agree.
one, and move. Relearn it, learn new one. So yeah, that's it. Really.
Interesting. So, you answered all my question. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
And it's going to be a very slow, very, very slow. I really wish I could speed it up. Like I want to like learn this thing very fast, but it's a very, very
you
slow
just, you
process.
just feel like carrying the whole course and just keep inside your brain.
Like just learning. Like you can see audio because I use the Udemy course
Mhm.
for Net Ninja. So I'm seeing all the whole timeline and the rest, like interacting because I've never started interacting with APIs yet and all those things.
You
So I'm like eager to reach
get
it.
to
But
that point.
if you jump, nobody will tell you. You'll send you back to where you started.
You go back.
So if you jump, you go back. Like it will just be a waste of time because you learn it, you will not understand shit. Then you go back again to go and start relearning. Then you now follow the process. So I really wish I could like speed it up, but yeah, just gradual process. Just gradual process. Thank you. It's the hunger to it's the hunger to succeed. You just know you have
Yeah,
to
I swear.
low. Like I feel, especially with layoffs being announced, it's not you need to secure yourself basically. Like that's just what's on my head. Really, like you need to have something. You need to just have something basically. You need to set some things. I mean, statistics that 99 99% of startups fail.
Yeah. These guys at YC say this 99.95.
When 95% of startups fail, actually. There's no other way. For me, I feel there's no other way. If one fails, I'll have to pick up another one. I'll have to find new ideas because I feel if you are complaining AI is going to take your job, AI cannot take your job as the CEO,
Yeah.
basically. And AI will just even support your startup, basically, rather than. So, this I feel is just essentially serious.
Cost effective. So if one idea fails, you don't have to spend money hiring somebody or finding a co-founder who is a developer that shares the same passion.
Exactly.
Like you can easily just pull up an MVP on your own because you already know how to. Most of the people who do this startup stuff like really fast are people who already know how to code. So they can sit down in their room, spend 2 weekends or spend like 38 hours sitting down and then pull up like an MVP
Pull
sharp,
up
sharp, sharp,
something.
just launch.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's an edge and a very cost effective edge.
Yeah, and it's a win-win situation. I mean,
Exactly.
if most likely your startup fails, you have something, you build something, it
Yeah.
makes you more qualified for many roles. I mean, showing that you shipped that and all boosts your confidence. It shows to some sort you have the entrepreneurship mindset and it sets you up for many lead roles. So it's basically a win-win thing. I know that many people are already tending towards like creating startup, trying to flesh ideas and bring solutions.
Thank you, Sha. Thank you for sharing with me. Honestly, I wish you good luck, guy. If you need help, if there's anything you think I can help you with, let me know. I don't know what I can help you with, but like, if you think I can help you with something, let me know. So
Yeah, sure.
let me tell you about what we do. I don't know if you've seen it on Road Trip Slack or Discord. Is at it's called In Game. So basically, I and Chiwendu. She's a writer and a researcher. Since
Okay.
I know how to edit videos. I know how to. So what we do at In Game is we help startups or individuals in tech space create online content, podcast, funnel for customers. So for startups that want to probably have a talking head video, for example, Cowrywise. Now, I know you guys do this, but like, could you guys have like a series on YouTube where you talk about money, managing money, how to spend money, how to use your products, all those product videos or talking head videos of explaining how Cowrywise work, explaining like different series of saving, how to save, how to invest, benefits, all those things. Now, all those videos can help channel more customers into like in startup. And what we do at Incame is we help these startups take away the overhead cost of hiring somebody in-house to edit these videos, to manage them, and to always just be there and collect salary. So we research the ideas, we write the script for every video, and we edit them. Startup, what the individual have to do is record, send to us. They don't have to do research anymore and then write the scripts and then now also like structure. For example, it's a podcast, like read like I have a podcast, so I understand how it is. You have to have talking points all the time to talk about. So
Mm.
we basically handle all of that. We do all the heavy lifting involved in creating content. So all you do is just sit down, record, and then publish. You basically do that for like startups and individuals in the tech space, like Hack Sultan. If you ever wants to have a YouTube, or Adora Hack, all these people. So that's basically what we do. It's just a service business by itself.
Yeah, nice. Do you like combining with like just marketing videos? Do you do like marketing videos like
Yeah, so it's mainly video editing. It can be like so now each startup or each idea, each project can be different. So for example, one project we worked on was for a client where she was teaching people in CBD. So it was after that we switching to just tech specific because it was a bit tough.
mm,
So for product videos is when you want to launch a feature, then the explainer video of how the feature works. I'm sure this is what you're talking about. If it's not, just
yeah. Yes, it
okay.
is.
That you see that okay, this is the application on screen. Then when you click
Yeah.
here, this happens. When you click here, this happens. When you this moves to this place. All of that, yeah. So when it comes to video editing like that, that's something I can do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, true. So definitely I think it's a great idea really. And of course would need for like marketing definitely now. Would
Mhm.
need for like marketing especially early on when you are like building the anticipation.
Yeah.
Basically like saying 1 week to go, I'll be 2 days to go, something huge is coming. that
Yeah.
kind of
All those kind
thing.
of videos.
Exactly, before, yeah. Yeah. And then when it launches, that sort of introductory video to what it
Yeah.
is and what's about and how to sell it. So yeah, those things are like, yeah, working.
Once you're able to do that, like once you're able to like get that concrete feedback, this guy from Y Combinator, I watch a lot of his videos. I've forgotten his name right now. And he said that if you want to know your product works, is when it's like it's trying to solve someone's problem. If someone is this is the literal example he gave you. If someone's head is on fire and they are trying to quench the fire, you can give them a fire extinguisher and teach them how to use it, and they will use it. But if there's nothing, right, and you give them a brick, they can literally take that brick and slam on their head as long as it
Mm,
quenches that fire, right? If
mm,
somebody is burning, you see them on the road rolling, as long as it quenches that fire, you can come and cover them with jacket. At that point, it doesn't make sense in their head. They don't even care that you're covering them with a jacket to quench the fire. All they knew that you're
mm.
giving them something to quench that fire. And
To quench.
that is exactly how you know you have solved the problem. Like if you're having an issue and no matter how buggy the application is, or no how like very, very, small or simple it is, and you give it to them and they use it to solve their problem first time, second time, you just know they are onto something already. Because that's
Something.
you can
Mm.
only just keep like hacking that and provide the most.
That thing.
Mhm.
True, true.
So honestly, I don't know why I keep saying that. I swear. So, I'm honestly happy like what you're doing. I wish you so much luck. Honestly, it's
Thank you.
amazing. It's amazing to
Thank you.
see.
Now I'll give up, mess up, man.
I say,
I'll give up, mess up. It just like there's no choice. There's no choice again. Like you
it's-
just have to do
yeah,
this thing. This is where you are in. So you just have to go all out. Yeah, you too. You too. I hope you also start coding. I hope you
yeah, I'm going to
take it up slowly. You said mentioning Flutter. You want to go into like mobile development.
yeah directly into like mobile development. Flutter.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So I mean, just pick it up. I think it's also in demand. Like it's highly in demand. Mobile developers
Yeah,
so highly in demand. So yeah, if you plan to, I think it's always an advantage. Like see this King David guy. That guy is something else. So yeah, he also does like mobile development and it makes you just fully rounded.
yeah.
Like
Just
fully
it,
rounded. Yeah,
it gives
so
you an edge. Now that edge I want.
basically.
Now that edge I won't collect. I
But
won't
that
collect.
edge, oh,
I won't collect and bend down. Me it fits me.
and I think have you seen Nigerian startups like put openings for product design roles?
No, like I've seen, but most of them are in, like offices are in Lagos. Small startups I've seen, mostly on Indeed. By the time you filter by remote, you
Oh,
just see like 4 or 6, and I see Lagos. Then when you go to another site on LinkedIn, you now see filter by remote. Then you now see like 4 again, and there are different startups. Sometimes they are repeated.
like it's crazy. It's that's another thing. I think it's actually saturated. Maybe not saturated for like roles, but like the number of people to the number of roles available
You know,
is
reach.
getting crazy.
You
Like
know,
it's
reach.
crazy.
I think
It's quite crazy.
we are all I think people are running away from accepting that we have more designers than there's a need for.
Exactly. Like I mean, it's encouraging to say, you know what, gather, but I think it's gradually become people who have don't want to leave the ones like they don't want to let go of the companies, they don't want to let go of their product designers. The
Exactly.
product designers are either moving to higher roles like maybe Meta or any Fang that they have. So those are the ones people are going to feel. But the rate at which that's happening is slower than
Yeah.
slower than the open road. It's crazy.
And to keep
It's
affecting
crazy.
the prices and like salary that people collect because
Exactly.
you can't have a market where there are so many designers and you expect your salaries to be going up. It's not possible. Yeah, because there are so many of you. You just if
We can just throw you off and
exactly
bring in someone that
somebody.
will start with a lower. And I think that's the essence of layoffs too. Because
Now.
I think their salaries have peaked to see 500, 700K
Exactly.
and all.
Fire
700K
everybody.
girls. Then they lay off. Then the next thing they bring will start from 200.
Exactly. Then everybody
So
will
I
start.
think that's what these people do. Start again.
They still need the
Yeah,
people they lay off for, but they just need them to collect small salary.
exactly. They still did them. Oh. And I think that's why things are getting but Google Map is messed up. I don't know what's happening. Like the map bends. Like
Stay in the bed.
I've noticed the map bends somehow. It takes me through the longest route. This map has been misbehaving. And you're starting to see WhatsApp messed up. Have you tried WhatsApp for web?
Yeah, I do. I use WhatsApp for work.
Yeah, have you looked at like the time, like the AM, A is in capital letter, P is in capital letters.
Are you serious?
I think they just fixed their bug currently, like the whole
I'm
bug
seeing
of
it now. I'm seeing it now.
yeah.
I'm seeing
DM is I
it.
don't know. I've been trying to. It's minimal, but my eye has just been going to that. It feels weird. I'm saying
Yeah, I can see it now. I can see it now. Yeah, there are small. The people where they do the work, they know plenty again now. Why now?
and they are removing the experience, guy.
They are trying to save costs. At the end of the day, every startup founder is looking for how to maximize money.
I think that's exactly the goal. Starting with so nobody listens to equity anymore.
Ah,
Like Alpha, I'll call equity.
I want chop today. Equity no fit buy.
So that equity go, what will I use equity? If you equity is banking that you are going to succeed. If you don't succeed, you go.
Exactly.
What are we talking about?
In a
So it's
statistics that 99.9% of 5% fake.
going to fail.
I'm
You
going to
got to give
collect.
me equity. Oh, that really was so you need to maximize how will I survive if I'm going to like prepare. So it's basically just maximizing cost actually. Doing the most with the little you have.
So I understand startups when they were like they can't pay again. Because me, if I was in that position, I think it would be pushed to the wall where I understand the business and the business must run. Life itself is not fair.
I
So
I think I would rather do cuts. I'll tell them cuts really.
you should cut
Cuts
the
like
salary.
take cuts. I think that's what happened during although they laid off people but they still did huge cuts like Alpha. You want to see the Alpha you go agree collect more rather than completely send you out to go and compete again.
It's that competition that is killing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Thank you, man. Jesus Christ, it's been an hour already.
Like
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
crazy.
you so much for sitting down with me, I swear. I
All
think
right, you're welcome.
I'm going to do what you said. I'm going to listen to your advice. Like just basically schedule and prioritize. I need another conversation that could be had, like I swear, for a long time. Is I think many designers mentally design for designers, not for users.
Hmm.
You design in the space that when another designer sees this, they
Sees
would
it.
they would respect you,
True.
not the fact that okay, this works because of the users are going to understand it. You know, uh,
Exactly.
I think that's a whole different ball game that nobody would talk about here because it's
Looks at yeah. That's entirely it really like designing a transparent experience. Like I usually realize that when I'm using something, I'm not testing to like I literally want to do something on Cowrywise. Maybe let's say Cowrywise, I want to transfer money or Kuda, I want to transfer. My mind is not on the design. Nothing concerning design. I want to do something.
I won't transfer money. I won't make this thing work
So I
now.
want to do something. So that's how I judge design. Once I start to think of the issue with the design, it is a bad design. That means once I encounter an issue and it throws me to why is this thing not doing like this? Like, or I have to like what do you even call this? I'm always forgetting the name. Like maybe not roadblocks, but like things that do not allow it feel so fluid. I have to cast my mind and say, okay, this thing, why is it when I refresh it's not doing this or when I click this I expect something and another thing happens.
Yeah.
It means okay there is a catch and design should be transparent actually experience should be transparent.
Yeah, thank you so much for having this discussion with me. I really appreciate
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
sure, all right now.
Give me good evening.
Take
Bye.
care. All right, bye.
This podcast is proudly managed and produced by Inkim.